Hey, what's up? So I made a new Discord channel. I'll put the link on the description if you want to join. And someone asked about behind the scenes Sludge Life stuff, and I had one for the first game, and I thought, why not record one for the second one while I can? I'm already on a different computer, so like a bunch of stuff broke. But yeah, this is what the whole map looks like from far away. And you start the game on this room right here. You can see all the tag spots already. Um, Siggy Beach, the Blue Room. The Blue Room is not as big as you thought it'd be. Um, and this game, I think, differently than the first one, has like two clearly defined areas, which is the hotel and everything in the hotel, which for me was fun to make because like a very dense vertical space, and then the outside, which is more like the first game, and this clear divisor between them. This let me do some optimization stuff. When you move through, I will disable a lot of this stuff, um, especially like the NPCs, and the animations and things like that. Some scripts, I found that the game runs well when I code those. And maybe we should see what Ghost looks like. Um, I get asked that a lot. Like this is what officially. Oh man, this is a mess. Okay, here's the player. And the project's pretty slow when I'm running it like this, but it's very different when you're running the actual game. So this is what it looks like. He is actually green, I guess, so that matches up. And you can crouch pretty tiny. I'm not actually playing with. There you go. Sure. Should have maximized this, right? And then each NPC will have a script that will run like the interactions and stuff. Let me see if I can show one of them. Let's get out of here. One of this bugs that I think broke when I opened a new computer for some reason is that some of these NPCs aren't loading, but some of them are. So like let's look at this lady. Whoops. Where am I? Yeah, so she has this brain, which is like a big messy spaghetti of visual scripting. I use Playmaker in all my games, but this was actually started pretty simple and straightforward. And as I added like different character interactions and edge cases, it started becoming kind of a mess. When I was making the game, I was aware of everything this was, but now I have no idea what it is. But like it, you can see she's in the closed state, meaning she's interactable, and I guess just waiting for me. She's not can interact, which is when I will look at her. So that pops up the UI thing, and when I click, she goes into trigger talk. Um, this look IKEA is what controls her looking or not. I can mess with this, and then she'll have these three lines. So when it's A, it will go up to 3, which is the last one. B, C. She has her sound effects for the voice and the pitch. Those made like a bunch of these with different vowels, and as the text, shows up, she'll go like. If I do it, if I click, she'll move on for the next line, and then wait for a new interaction. And if I talk to her 3 times in a row, she'll just idle out and wait for me to move away from her, so she can reset. And like pretty much all the characters work like this. Some of them will have like a different special interaction, especially like when you stop talking with them. For example, like the clops, right? They'll smack you, so that becomes one of the checks. I would probably make that differently today because I've learned how to build the stuff better, but I still use the same system I on this game that I made on the first Slush Life, which was like 6 years ago when I started working on it. Um, so that just crashed. But yeah, I lost a lot of references for stuff on this file for some reason. Let's just ignore that. Doberwoman crashed again. But this is kind of it. What else can I show? The cats. The tag spots are all here. And they work kind of similarly to the talking. It's like a prefab that will catch when you're near. Let's find one. It will catch when you're near and you're looking at it, and then it will enable the interaction and play the little animation and save that the tag has been tagged. Oh, that's why he wasn't there. I guess I have a save where you already found Big Mud, so this is like a spoiler if you haven't played the game. I guess there was a tag spot somewhere around here. Here, there you go. So let's look at it from outside. Which one was it? This one. Spray can, level spray can. So this will have its own set of scripts. Let's see. So it's idle. When I move away, it's off. When I can't spray, it's grab. And then I need to click inside the screen or else it won't work. Burp. And this is just like a alpha. Can I do it from here? Alpha cutoff that will play like this animation. And the most important part is obviously the sound effect. Anything interesting? The sounds is just like a loop that plays when you're closed. All the interactions like this elevator is just the same. It's just catching if you're closed, then if you're looking at it, and then if you're clicking while you're looking at it. The blue screen is actually, the bloom room is actually not that big. Man, what is all this stuff? Yeah, there you go. So all the audio is here, so like the music, like I said, is just a loop that will check if you're close. I use master audio for all the stuff. Here's all the characters. There's like, I think, well, I guess 184 of them. Probably some few others, like the cultists will have just a bunch. So the tower, I guess this is interesting. The tower itself is, let's pause it. Can I close this? Tower itself is layered. So you have like the top layer and then 9. And this was obviously so while I was working I could just see what's in here and just plop some props like guess food pie, and then I'll just prop it here. If I put it center it will be on the right. So that's kind of how I built everything. Sometimes I'll rotate it. I don't know, it's not showing the gizmo, but it works. Oh, it's static, yeah. And then, well, let's see the whole hotel. Oh, this is fun. I made all these in Clay Souls and had a, I guess I loaded this because Clixels was like a different Unity file thing, and then I'd load the FBX for this floor and kind of shape things into it. I really like working on this. I can see like the NPCs are not part of it, so they're just kind of floating on. Four, three, two. And then you'd have elevator, which was its own thing. Crystal Siggy, decals. And then outside the tower, you'd have like the shell and have like these holder meshes, which just hold everything. Obviously, panel is like a big mesh, and this one panel bit. And then sludge would be like the outside. It would also be different areas. And all of this was made using real-time CSG, just like the first game. Fun Dungeon. Did we name this Fun Dungeon in the end? I guess so. Sometimes I'll name things and then change. These are all, props in the same way. Oh, mesh baker. So I did bake like these meshes so they would become one big thing. It's kind of hard just to edit now, but at first I would just be moving everything around and finding stuff. What else is interesting? Rocks? Rocks aren't interesting. So let's disable this stuff. Graffiti. So it would be all the tags, one by one. Oh, there's 100 of them. Combos. Telewarpers. You speak. Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, this is the targets. There's like a inspired by Umurangi generation where you can take pictures of stuff and then see them on the UI, the little challenge thing. And that's kind of it. I think that's the game. You have one single directional light. NPCs. The NPCs. Fauna. Yep. It's pretty straightforward, right? So you have all these animals. Where is the octopus? I want to see the octopus. Better turn it around. I think this one was in a rock that I disabled. Get the fish, the fishers. Fishers are like the big birds. Then the crocs, cats, dogs, slugs, pigeons. I guess the slugs have the same thing as the other interactions where you can eat them. Pickups are the items. Both. Oh, there's some stuff under lock boxes. They're the EPs, like the master tapes, the discs, shrooms, zooms, and the actual items. And this is like the save game. We'll look at what you have and enable or disable them. Water. I call it water, but I should have called it sludge. It's called sludge, I guess. What happens if I run the game now? Oh, just drop. Would I die? Probably. Oh, there's no more sludge for me to fall, so I'll just fall forever. I think that's a good ending, right? I don't know if it's that interesting, but it's a bit of a behind the scenes look. What else is here? So messy. Yeah, I guess that's it. Cheers.